Welcome to EthanLive. Today is Tuesday, February the 10th. We're coming to you today. We're on our way to Hardin County and E-Town for a little award presentation to a couple folks who did some wonderful work in the Morgan Herrick case. Yeah, thank you. But I wanted to make note of something that happened in Kentucky Legislature, specifically the Ag Committee today, AG, Agriculture Committee.
Right.
That is very important to pay attention to what they did and why that is. So, in an interest of making sure that I am giving all the information, I'm just going to read you this bill. It is SB 45, introduced, passed in the Ag Committee today, but it's SB 45. So, it's Senate Bill 45, an act relating to agritourism. And so it reads as follows. Agritourism means the act of visiting a farm or ranch or any agriculture, horticultural, or agribusiness operation for the purpose of enjoyment, education, or active involvement in these activities of the farm, ranch, or operation. Agritourism activity means any activity that is carried out on a farm, ranch, agricultural operation, horticultural operation, or agribusiness operation, and B, allows or invites participants to view or participate in activities for recreational, entertainment, or educational purposes. Qualifying activities may include farming, ranching, historic, cultural, civic, or ceremonial activities, including but not limited to weddings and ancillary events, harvest your own operations, farmers markets, horseback. This is important because this is in bold and underlined because this is what they're.
This is the main part. Yeah.
Horseback riding, horse-drawn carriage rides, livestock or poultry shows, petting farms, rodeos, competitions, field trials, horse racing, natural resource-based activities, or any activity that historically involved the utilization of working animals. The activities may qualify as agritourism activities whether or not a participant pays to view or participate in the activity. Important there. Agritourism building means any building or structure or any portion thereof that is used for one or more agritourism activities. Agritourism professional means any person, including employees or authorized agent, acting on behalf of the agritourism professional who is engaged in the business of providing one or more agritourism activities. So we're on a roll here for agritourism. Inherent risk of agritourism activity means those dangers or conditions that are an integral part of an agritourism activity, including certain hazards such as surface or subsurface conditions, natural conditions of land, vegetation or water, the behavior of wild or domestic animals, and the ordinary dangers of structures or equipment used in farming and ranching operations. Participant means any person other than an agritourism professional who engages in agritourism activity. And number 7, and here we go. Working animal. They want to define working animal here. Working animal means the use of any animal, for the purpose of performing a specific duty or function in commerce or service, including but not limited to animals in entertainment, transportation, education, exhibition, hunting, or agritourism. That's the end of that bill. But as part of that bill, they want to add a new section to KRS 247.800, that would be 247810, to read as follows. A city, town, county, or other political subdivision of the Commonwealth shall not adopt or continue to enforce any ordinance, resolution, rule, or regulation restricting a person from engaging in an agritourism activity or imposing an undue burden on an agritourism activity that would make engagement in agritourism activity unreasonable or impractical, so long as the agritourism activity complies with public health and safety and planning and zoning requirements or other existing law enforceable by the recognized police powers of a local government. Local legislation in violation of this section shall be void and unenforceable. An agritourism activity should not include dog fighting as defined by KRS 525.125 or animal fighting as referenced in 21 U.S.C. section 2156. That is the bill, SB 45. Why is that important?
Right.
They want to define working animals, okay? And So what's going to happen is that they're not specifically exempting domestic cats and dogs.
Right.
So what's going to happen is something is going to, and they're basically saying to you, these are my, and let's get down to it. What they're saying is these are my working animals. They're not going to fall into any of your other crap that you got over here, any of your other animal cruelty laws, whatever you got going on, because this is my working animal. So what happens when you have a cat that is in your barn? It's you own the cat, and runs around your barn, comes inside, and you get mad at your cat and you hit your cat with the rake or your fist or something like that. And instead of being charged with something, you're going to say, that's my working animal. Right. You can't charge me with that. This is going to overrule that. Oh. Or let's say, what about puppy mills? All of a sudden someone starts running a puppy mill and selling a lot of puppies, and their excuse is going to be, this is for my business. This is my commerce. This makes money. People come in to buy them, which makes me money, and people come in to pet my little puppies, and it makes me money. Because they do not exempt from these the definition of working animal, domestic cats and dogs, which needs to be done. In committee today, the person that introduced this bill, Robin Webb.
What county do you know? Just to throw that out there.
I'm not sure what county she is. She's in Eastern Kentucky somewhere. Okay. If you want to know anything about Robin Webb, look up her history of what she's voted for, what she hasn't voted for. Good. Yeah, okay. She even said it passed the Ag Committee today, and one of the people that was against it brought up that the language needed to be changed or worked on a little bit, and her comment was, they're going to go after our thoroughbreds and our horse racing, and when they do, I don't want to be the one sitting here telling you I told you so. So no one's going after thoroughbred horse racing. If there's anything that's more protected in Kentucky, it's thoroughbred horse racing. Right. Nobody's going after your horse racing. Nobody's going after your rodeos. Nobody's going after your carriage rides. Sure. But if it's that important to you, and you're not trying to create this loophole for domestic dogs and cats, then that's easily fixed.
Just add it in there.
By adding an amendment. The best fix would be to remove the whole working animal definition entirely. Take it out. Doesn't need to be in there. Focus on the agritourism activities that are already well defined. That's the best thing to do. If not, have another addendum that keep a working animal definition. Only SB 45 explicitly excludes domestic dogs and cats kept primarily as household companions and animals. The best thing to do here is to remove the working animal definitions. And there's no reason for it to be in there other than to create a loophole to get around these laws. Make no mistake about it. She will get up and tell you it's a preventative bill preventing rodeos and preventing these things that go on in your state that farms or ranches can use to generate income for people to come in and pick their own strawberries or do all that. They will tell you that that's what it's about. And it's not. No. They're creating a loophole intentionally to get around these bills, to get around these laws that we have worked hard to get passed. Right. It's an agritourism bill, and it's a drafting issue, right? It adds a broad definition of working animal that unintentionally, or in my view, intentionally, sweeps in domestic dogs and cats. In agritourism and animal attraction settings, that creates a loophole where local humane care rules can be challenged, delaying intervention until suffering becomes extreme. This is not about stopping agritourism. I think we're all for that. Right. This is about clear boundaries, and it's simple. Remove the working animal definition or explicitly exempt domestic dogs and cats. And clarify cruelty enforcements is unaffected. Whoa. This is, they realize by the last statement of the bill, they realize what they're trying to do, and they tell you in this last statement that says we're not going to include dogfighting. Okay, you can easily put a statement in there that says this also doesn't affect KRS 125 through 135.
Right.
That's easy. They didn't do it.
No.
They didn't do it.
Purpose.
On purpose.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So, I've written up a bunch of these things. So what we're going to ask folks to do is, let me see if I've got this number handy, is to call the legislature. It has passed
this morning.
It's passed the Ag Committee this morning. So it can now, after it gets 3 readings, it can get voted on the Senate. Well, we need the senators to know that we don't want this, right? First of all, they had an opportunity in committee to add this amendment in there, and they chose not to. So now at this point, maybe the easiest thing is to kill the whole thing. Let's get rid of that. Let's don't even vote on that bill. Let's vote. If we're going to vote, let's vote no. If you have any thoughts of thinking that no one is going after agritourism, they even mentioned in committee today, this is a preemptive bill. Okay. No one's going after agritourism. That's important to note. Okay. If you want this preemptive bill to keep your agritourism, then put an amendment on it that exempts domestic cats and dogs, because all you're trying to do is create a loophole that would allow these folks not to be charged.
Yeah. Oh.
If local rules that set baseline welfare standards are weakened or challenged, problems escalate before they meet the threshold for criminal cruelty. Broad definitions invite disputes about whether a dog or cat is a working animal and whether a local ordinance is an undue burden. Pointed out today, there's several language in here that is very vague and would just hold up the courts trying to figure out what they do. And one of them is the undue burden. Who proves that? Like, how do you even prove what an undue burden is? All that is
another way to get around
an argument in court that will go on for months and months and months. So when dogs or cats are categorized as working animals, okay, inside an expanded agritourism activity framework, SB 45's local preemptive language can be invoked to challenge local ordinances that set humane care requirements, limit certain handling practices, or regulate animal attraction operations. Even if cruelty statutes remain on the books, losing local guardrails can increase cruelty, neglect risk, and make intervention harder until conditions become extreme. That's why this is important.
Yeah, very.
So we are asking folks to call the number that we asked you guys to call back during HB 258 and the bills before that, before Ethan's law passed. And I'll post all of this stuff on Ethan's page later, but it's 1-800-372-7181. Leave a message for your senator. Let them know that this is not acceptable the way this is written. This was written in a very direct way on purpose
to get around
by someone that has been advocating against animal welfare for a long time.
Right. Give them that bill number again, so when they call.
It is SB 45.
Easy. SB 45.
SB 45. Yeah. Senate Bill 45. Call 1-800. Let's see, 1-800-372-7181. Okay, this is going to allow a lot of things to be able to slip through the cracks. And when someone has been charged with a felony, this will give people a loophole to say, hey, my place is agritourism. You don't have to prove that anyone has paid to come to your place.
You can just state.
Just state that, and it creates, even if it turns into an argument in the court, you're just causing delays and delays.
Right. You're just slowing the process, and that's what happens, and things go away.
So why bring up dogs and cats? They're the animals that are most often used in attractions and the most common victims in cruelty cases.
Yes.
Again, your argument about the thoroughbred industry and horse racing and rodeos, No one's going after that.
No.
I don't see any bill out there where people are trying to limit what you can do there. Let's vote this whole bill down. If you don't, at worst, it needs an amendment that removes the working animals definition. It doesn't need it to be in there. This bill can pass exactly how it is for agritourism, and you take number 7 completely out. Take working animal definition completely out of it, and it's just fine.
Okay. So it's number 7, you said.
Yeah.
Okay,
And SB 45 1-800-372-7181.
And Jeff, you're going to post it.
I'm gonna post that. But again,
Start calling.
This was someone that opposed other animal welfare legislation, opposed Ethan's bill,
yes,
258. Spends a lot of time trying to give people the right to do whatever they want with their animal. So this needs to be taken care of before it gets. Let's make sure it gets voted down in the Senate. I mean, hopefully it doesn't even get voted. But if it gets voted, let's make sure that they know where we stand.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't even get called to the
floor. We tell them what we don't like about the way that it's written? Tell them to vote no on SB 45, and you can say that the working animal definition needs to be removed.
Number 7, I think you said.
Yeah. So that is probably the simplest way to do it. Call 1-800-372-7181 and tell them you do not, you want SB 45 to vote no on SB 45. Definition of working animal needs to be removed.
There you go.
So that's what, before I even had a cup of coffee, that's what got me worked up this morning.
Well, and rightfully so. We worked too hard to get Ethan's law passed for somebody just to throw another bill or wanting another law that circumvents Ethan's law, and that's what it'll do.
So SB 45, as again, I'll one more go through here before we get off here and head to E-Town. SB 45 aims to protect agritourism from undue local burdens. The undue local burdens is a little, that's a little much. It's going to lead to a lot of speculation, but it aims to protect agritourism from undue local burdens, and that goal is understandable, right? No one's trying to stop agritourism. No. However, the bill introduces a very broad definition of working animal that is not limited to traditional roles like service animals or livestock work, does not include domestic dogs and cats. This matters because dogs and cats are commonly used in exhibitions, demonstrations, attractions, or those are the ones that are most abused.
Definitely, yeah.
When they're labeled as working animals, the SB 45's preemptive language can be used to challenge local humane care standards, the very rules that prevent neglect before it becomes animal cruelty. So without guardrails, enforcement often comes too late. So call the number 800-372-7181. Tell them and leave a message for your senator. That's where it's going now.
Yeah.
Leave a message for your senator. Tell them to vote no on 45 because that working animal definition needs to be removed. Maybe someone will put an amendment in there, and then we'll all be happy for agritourism, and everybody can move forward.
And be sure you share the info with other people that maybe aren't on Ethan's page.
Yeah, please do.
We need calls.
Yeah, please do. And I'll put all this message. We're going to run to E-Town for a little bit, so give me till probably this evening. I'll put all this information out there. I'll put a copy of the bill out there.
Great idea.
If we'd love to chat with anyone on any side of it.
Yeah.
If that senator wants to come on and we can talk about it, we can talk about it. There's, again, it's very obvious how intentional it was because of that last thing they put in there about the dog fighting.
Yeah.
You know, you put that in there because you recognize that you don't want that, you want that to be separated, but you didn't want to separate dogs and cats from the cruelty. So,
a big worry. So
will this broadcast be available to send along? Yes, it will be on the on Ethan's Facebook page for 2 weeks, I think, and then Facebook removes it. It'll always be on the YouTube page, so there's a link there for people to go to. Right. So there's a lot more to say. I typed up and printed up a bunch of stuff today. That's the general gist of what's happening. We want to make sure that this does not pass as is. because it's just going to be hurtful to the animals. This will be a huge step in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
thank you guys for tuning in. I'll put the rest of this out there. We're going to talk about this all the way up until hopefully it gets voted down or not voted on at all.
Right.
So please pay attention. Call that number. That's very important. Let them know that you guys do not agree with this. So thank you guys for tuning in. We will. It should be on you when we'll be on YouTube. It should be streaming live on YouTube right now on Ethan Almighty's channel, and then there'll be a link there when this is over that you could put it in an email or a text or something like that. Thank you for tuning in, D. So, thank you guys for listening. We've got a lot more to say about this, but it was just a day that we needed to jump on it quick because it passed the Ag Committee today. So, thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you all soon.